Okay, so we are starting in an easy seat. Place your hands on either knee. You can have your palms facing down if you need more grounding, and palms facing up if you need more energy today. So let's connect with our breath. So starting with your belly through the ribs into the chest. Take a deep inhale and hold at the top. As you exhale, I'd like you to open your mouth and release the air through your mouth rather than your nose. And let's continue with this slow, intentional breath, inhaling through the nose, starting from the belly, expanding through the ribs and up into the chest. Hold at the top and open mouth exhale. Deep breathing like this increases your oxygen and can help decrease stress and anxiety. So this morning we're going to do a few poses that we likely have not done in class before. So on that note, our quote for today is, "The policy of being too cautious is the greatest risk of all." I think it's important in life to take some risks, to do things that scare you. I will say, and I firmly believe this, that everything in my life that has been worth it, I have been terrified of at some point, terrified of starting, terrified of trying. So keep that in mind. Cautious is the greatest risk. Being overly cautious, is the greatest risk of all. Let's bring our hands to our heart center. And we're actually going to vigorously rub our palms together. I want you to try and create as much heat as you can. So getting friction going in those palms. And go ahead and release. Bring your left hand palm facing up to your solar plexus. So that's kind of right above your pubic bone. And then your right hand palm facing down, just about chest level, nipple level, if you will. And try and feel that heat between your two hands. You're just creating friction. So in theory, there should be some heat moving in between your hands there. And just breathe. Bring your hands back together. Let's do that one more time, creating friction. When you feel like you've got enough heat there, go ahead and return the left hand to the solar plexus, palm facing up, right hand palm facing down at chest level. Inhale and exhale. Now bringing your hands behind your head, interlocking your fingers. Just going to take a gentle back bend here. Being intentional and mindful, keeping the core tight. Slowly push your head back. Your gaze is going to go up slightly. Please don't throw your neck back completely. It's just a slight gaze towards the ceiling. You're pushing your head into your hands while pushing your hands back into your head. And now, hopefully everyone can see beautiful Krista as our spotlight today. Go ahead and release your hands and crawl forward so you're in a tabletop position. So hands and knees, we're coming to our hands and knees. Wrists stacked directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips. If you need a little bit of movement here, feel free to take that. You can tuck your toes under. You can leave the tops of the feet flat on the ground, whatever is most comfortable in your body. And from here, I'd like you to bring your right leg up towards your hand. So you're going to place your foot on the ground up towards your right hand. Take the right leg. There we go. Beautiful. And just feel a little stretch here. You can move your hips from side to side. We're just getting a little hip opening. This is Baramanasana. Such a tongue twister for me. And return the right knee to the ground in tabletop, and let's switch sides, bringing the left foot forward, placing it near the left hand, and stretching our hips on this side. When you feel like you've had equal movement on both sides, return back to tabletop position. And from here, we're going to come into a kneeling or standing on our knee position. And we're going to do some thunderbolt cat-cows. So let's tee or goalpost our arms rather. And from here, go ahead and bring elbows to meet in front of you while simultaneously catting the back, tucking belly to spine. So we're in a thunderbolt cat pose. And opening up, we're going to reach the elbows back, trying to pinch our shoulder blades together behind us. Light arch in the back, stretching the chin to meet where the ceiling and the wall interconnect. And exhale, coming to a thunderbolt cat. Inhale, opening to thunderbolt cow. And exhale, back to cat. Last time through. Inhale, open to thunderbolt cow. Go ahead and release your booty down to your heels. We're just going to take a gentle stretch or twist now. So place your left hand on your right knee and gently turn the body over to the right hand side or twist the body. You can place your right hand at your hip. Maybe it reaches the floor behind you. Maybe it just rests lightly on your right thigh. Breathe here. Exhale, return to center. And let's take our right hand, cross it over our left thigh, and twist to the opposite side. And let's come back to center. And let's place our hands on the mat in front of us, palms on the floor. We're going to take just a couple of wrist stretches here. So go ahead and rock forward as far as you can, stretching those wrist creases. And then coming back, I'd like you to place the tops of your hands on the mat. So you're stretching your fingertips towards your knees. And again, here you can get some movement. I like to do a little circular movement here. So rocking forward and then right, backwards and left. So I'm stretching through the wrist joint. If you're moving in the circular direction, please make sure you reverse that direction so you're stretching equally in both planes. And then let's bring our fingertips to face one another, palms or tops of hands still on the ground. There we go, beautiful. And again, you can get some circular movement here if you'd like, or just rock forward and back, whatever feels comfortable and good in your body today. And return your palms to the mat for regular tabletop position. Go ahead and walk the hands forward just a couple of inches. Maybe you need to walk your toes back. We're going to come into a plank pose. So standing on our hands and feet, if you will. Again, here, ensure that you are in a neutral spinal position. So squeeze belly to spine. We want that to be a nice flat back. We don't want to arch or cow or cat the back rather. And again, wrists are stacked underneath shoulders, toes are stacked underneath heels. Really push through that L part of your hand, so between the thumb and the forefinger. You can also try and dome your palms off the floor slightly to ensure that you're distributing your weight throughout all 10 fingers. I know we're holding in plank for a bit. We're going to now just do a little movement in plank. So we're going to drop our right hips over to the right side. For just a little twisting inner plank, there we go. Come back to center, beautifully done. Drop both hips to the left side. Beautiful. Come back to center. Drop to the right side. Continue through this. We're going to move from side to side one more time on each side. I have a little discomfort in my toes when I do this, so if you need to walk your feet farther apart to provide more space, feel free. And now we are ready to finally lift our hips high and come into our first downward dog of the day. Good job, you guys. Feel free to walk your dog. I know I can never come into downward dog for the first time in my practice without getting a little walk in there, if you will. I like to shake my hips from side to side, bend one knee and the next. I'll shift my weight over to the right and to the left and just get a little stretch and movement throughout our body this morning. On your next inhale, bring your gaze to meet your hands. And taking tiny baby steps, please walk your toes to meet your hands so we are meeting in Uttanasana, forward fold. On your next inhale, swan dive, raising your arms towards the sky, coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's play with our weight here and shift your weight to your tippy toes. Now shift your weight over to the right hand side without raising the heels here. We're just shifting our weight right now. So just shift forward and shift to the right. Shift your weight to your heels. Shift your weight to the left and forward, reversing direction, going to the left this time. Then rear, then shifting your weight over to the right. Here in mountain pose, ensure that you're dropping your shoulder blades down your back so that your shoulders aren't scrunched up in your ears, but rather there's space between your ears so that you still have a neck, so to speak. Now, Krista read my mind. We're actually going to lift up onto our tippy toes in mountain pose. Little balancing posture. For any balancing posture, your drishti or your gaze being focused on one non-moving object directly in front of you will very much help you to be able to balance properly. And with our toes still, or our heels still lifted, you're going to gently bend your knees and come into a chair pose. This is a challenge. If you fall, wonderful. That is part of our practice. We don't learn how to do things properly unless we fall, right? That's part of learning. Go ahead and release your heels to the ground. That was rough, remaining in chair pose. So our booty is reaching back towards that invisible chair behind us. Do a weight check here. Make sure you can lift your toes off of the ground so the majority of your weight is in the heels. From here, you're going to go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. Shift your weight to the left foot and step your right leg back into a lunge. Slowly, intentionally, beautiful. If you need to adjust your feet here, feel free to do so. Try not to be on a balance beam, but railroad tracks with those feet. So there's some distance between your right and your left foot horizontally. Let's clasp our hands behind us, interlocking our hands. And again, aiming to squeeze the shoulder blades together here. We're going to slowly bow forward, bringing our left shoulder blade to the inside of our left knee. This is humble warrior. You can raise your arms towards the sky or let them drop towards the ceiling if you have that flexibility in your shoulders. I know my shoulders are probably the tightest joint in my body, so I cannot lift those arms up. I just keep my hands clasped at my lower back, and that is perfectly okay. Go ahead and release those hands now down to the floor, coming into a low lunge. And now we're going to walk our hands over to the right hand side. So we're coming into a prasarita, or wide-legged forward fold. So walking our hands to the center on the right hand side. Beautiful. And let's get another weight check here. It's natural to want to keep the weight in the heels of your feet, but actually you get a greater benefit in prasarita by shifting the weight forward into your toes. Prasarita is one of the most accessible inversions in all of yoga and all of our asana practice. An inversion is simply anytime your head is underneath or lower than your heart. On your next inhale, bring your hands to the center of the mat, and we're going to halfway lift, coming to a flat spine. And exhale, fold. On your next inhale, tee out your arms. And we're going to slowly rise one vertebrae at a time to star pose. Reaching fingertips towards the sky, toes are pointed out. And exhale, bend at the knees. We're going to come into horse. And bring your hands to meet at heart center. Get a little movement in your horse, rock side to side here. Again, playing with the weight in your feet, really focusing on moving the weight towards that outer knife edge of each feet and balancing the weight between both the right and the left so you're firmly centered. From here, let's take our hands to our thighs. We're going to get a little twist in. So go ahead and drop the right shoulder towards your left knee. This is one of my favorite stretches. I think it feels wonderful. Inhale back to center and drop the left shoulder towards the right knee. Exhale. Inhale back to center. Let's switch sides, dropping the right over towards the left. Right shoulder drops to the left knee. Exhale, inhale back to center, and go ahead and drop that left shoulder to the right knee. We'll meet back in horse pose, hands at heart center. We're actually going to move from here into goddess. So goddess is very similar to horse pose. You're just going to take your elbows tightly towards the sides of your body. And with your fingers, let's go ahead and bring our thumb to meet our third finger. So we're in this position with our hands. Now from here, again, let's keep our spine straight, ensure everything is stacked. We're not leaning forward. And we're gonna just take some side bends here. So shifting the weight over to your right, moving through the side body. We're just tick-tocking like a clock. Moving your body over to the right, upper body. There we go, beautiful. Coming back to center. This is essentially standing side crunches. Going over to the left, coming back to center, over to the right, exhale, inhale center, exhale back to the left, and one more time through on each side. Inhale, exhale right, inhale center, exhale left, inhale center. Rise back up into star pose. We've been in horse and goddess for a while, and exhale into warrior two, spinning the left foot to the short edge of your mat, or I'm sorry, right foot rather, and your left leg is pointed forward. Go ahead and get some movement here. Surf out your warrior two. This is our first one of the day. On your next inhale, bring the left arm towards the sky, dropping the right hand down. We're coming to reverse warrior. Gaze can look up towards the left hand. It can stay looking straight at the wall in front of you, whatever works for your neck. And on your next exhale, cartwheel your arms down to a lunge. We're not going into chaturanga. From here, we're going to step our right leg up towards the left, if you will, and then bring it up into the air for standing splits. Lifting that right leg high, standing splits. This again is another inversion. From here, put a slight bend in your left knee. Bring the right knee behind the left for a Jiva squat. For an added balance challenge, you can lift your hands off the ground, as you can see Krista doing here, and reach that right heel back towards the sky, standing splits. And return to Jiva squat. Inhale, heel goes back towards the sky, standing splits. Exhale, Jiva squat. And inhale back to standing splits. Slowly lower that leg down behind you to low lunge. Step the left foot to meet the right for plank pose. And either chaturanga or nadaranga and meet us in downward facing dog. If you're taking that chaturanga, make sure that you shift your weight forward slightly onto the tippy toes. Exhale 90 degrees. Inhale to upward facing dog and exhale to downward facing dog. Beautiful job, you guys. We're going to repeat that on our left side now. So gaze looks towards your hands. Walk, step, or jump. Hands meet feet for forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise to mountain pose. And on your next exhale, lift the heels towards the sky. So you're on your tiptoes, bend the knees and come into Uttanasana, Utkatasana, balancing Utkatasana pose. Feel free to drop the hips if you need more stability. Heels if you need more stability, but also drop your hips because that does help you get into a deeper chair pose. And you can do this. Go ahead and drop the heels to the ground. Shift the weight over to your right foot. Left leg is going to reach intentionally slowly behind you, coming into a lunge. Hands meet the hands don't meet the ground. Thank you. Go ahead and raise your hands above you. So reaching towards the sky. Now clasp the hands behind you. We're going to come into a humble warrior. So interlacing the hands, bring the right shoulder in towards your right knee, to the inside of your right knee. And release the neck and head here. Make sure that your upper body is completely relaxed. If you have the flexibility through the arms and the shoulder girdle, you can let those wrists fall towards the sky, or keep your wrist planted at your lower back. Again, in yoga, anything that's painful, we want to back away from. Uncomfortability is normal, but shooting pain is not. Release the hands. Bring your hands down to the ground beside you. Go ahead and walk the left hands over to the left side, coming into a prasarita. Again, shifting our weight into our toes. Relaxing the upper body here. You have a few moments here to move how you would like. So if you'd like to maybe take a twist, if you'd like to move into a headstand, if you'd like to reach the arms out in front of you, I like to walk my hands underneath me, in between my legs, so I'm reaching behind me. I feel that gives a great stretch through my shoulders and upper back. Just breathe here, take a few moments. We're going to slowly return to prasarita, so meet us there if you've moved into a different position. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine, hands are rooted on the ground underneath you. Exhale back to forward fold prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. Tee out the arms beside you and slowly rising one vertebrae at a time, come back to star pose. From here, drop the arms parallel. Bring your left foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. We're going to move into warrior two. So spinning the right foot to reach towards the front of your mat. Weight is equally distributed between the right and the left foot, focusing that weight on the outer knife edge of both feet, dropping your hips as low as comfortable for you this morning. Gaze can go over your front middle finger, or it can look gently to the side wall. What's comfortable for your neck is where you should be today. And inhaling, rotate the right palm to the sky, bring the right arm high, drop the left arm to your left leg, not placing a lot of weight in that left hand, coming into reverse warrior. Your lower body position in reverse warrior does not change at all. All we're doing when we move from warrior two into reverse warrior is changing our upper body. Gaze can go up towards the hand. It can stay neutral. It can look down towards your back foot. On your next exhale, we're going to bring the hands to either side of our right foot, meeting in a low lunge. And if you need to step your foot forward to meet in a forward fold, please do so, or simply lift that left heel towards the sky, coming into standing splits. In standing splits, it is not about how high that heel goes. Work with your body and where you are today. On your next exhale, bring your left knee behind your right, coming into a Jiva squat. Again, you can bring hands to heart center to balance for an added challenge. Inhale, lift the left heel towards the sky. Exhale, Jiva squat, left knee behind the right. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, Jiva squat. Inhale, return to standing splits. And lower the left foot down to the ground, meeting in low lunge. Step the right foot to meet the left, so we're in plank. And let's get a few hip dips in here. So dropping our hips to the right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center. One more time, right, center, left, center. And either move through chaturanga or go straight to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift the right heel towards the sky for three-legged dog. This is our first three-legged dog. And on our exhale, you're going to cross the body with that right foot. It's going to come towards your left elbow. And from there, go ahead and extend that left leg straight. We're coming into fallen angel, fallen triangle. You can lift your left arm towards the sky here. This is a great side body twist. Really focus on rainbowing through the left side so you're not collapsing in the left side of the body. It's rainbowing up, feeling that strength through both sides. Return the left hand to the mat. Lift the right foot towards the sky, coming back into three-legged dog. And with intention, slowly lower that foot to meet your left. Get a little movement here, release. Downward dog is a resting posture, believe it or not. Although I have to say, after many postures, I do agree. It's a break, right? After something like fallen angel, fallen triangle, lift your left heel towards the sky. Exhaling, bringing that left knee towards your right elbow, extending that leg across your body, lifting the right arm towards the sky. Really rising through both side bodies here, rainbowing, lifting the upper hip towards the sky. Exhale, return your hand to the mat, lifting up the left leg, returning to three-legged dog, and slowly with intention, return the foot to the mat, downward facing dog. Let's come back into a tabletop position from here. So drop your knees to the mat. Come back to kneeling, standing on our knees. We're going to move into camel pose. However, we're not doing full camel today. We're only going to be doing a half camel. So camel is a heart opener and a back bend. So standing on your knees, ensuring that your shoulder blades are relaxed. You've got equal weight between both feet. You can have your toes touching the feet flat on the ground or toes curled under, whatever's comfortable for you. Let's bring our hands to our waist and then slowly walk those palms so that they're on your lower back, fingertips facing downwards. Lift the right arm high towards the sky. Pinky is slowly curling in. From here, I want you to place a pretend orange underneath your chin. Don't let that orange drop. It's going to stay there the whole time. Tightening through the core, slowly lift the gaze up towards the sky, getting a gentle back bend here, being very conscious not to overarch. Inhale, make sure you're breathing, and exhale here. When you think you want to come out, stay for one more breath, please. Camel is a great posture for clearing out old anxiety, old fears, old tension. Come back to center on your next inhale. Drop your booty to your heels here. Reach the palms straight out in front of you. So you're coming to a narrow child's pose, if you will, dropping the hands down to the mat for a narrow child's pose. Bring the hands to grab your heels behind you. I love coming, we're going to move into rabbit. I love coming into rabbit after camel. So from here, you can grab those heels, put a little bit of weight on the crown of your head. And while grabbing those heels and pulling your heels with your hands, you're going to lift or arch your booty a little bit, or lift your booty off your heels. My goodness, I'm tongue-tied this morning. Just get a little stretch here. You don't want a lot of weight in your head, but you're using that kind of as a fulcrum for balance. This should feel great in the upper back, upper ribs on the back of your body as well. Go ahead and come back to a seated kneeling position. Come back to standing on our knees. We're going to do camel on the left side, or half camel rather, on the left side. So bring knees hip width distance. Sure that everything is stacked appropriately. Don't arch, don't collapse through the spine. Bring the hands to your imaginary back pockets, fingertips facing down, palms rest on your bum. Inhale, lift the left arm towards the sky. Relax the shoulder blade down. Put that imaginary orange underneath your chin. And inhale, lift the gaze towards the sky. Coming into a gentle back bend. Take one more breath here than you're comfortable taking. You can stay longer than you'd like. Your mind will always tell you to stop before your body actually needs to. And let's meet back in a standing on our knees position. Booty returns to your heels. Palms stretch out in front of you. Drop the upper body, coming into a narrow child's pose. Just release and breathe. Let's take another puppy pose. So grabbing the heels with your hands. Using the top of our head just for a fulcrum or balance point, but really not putting a lot of weight into the head. Go ahead and pull the heels with the hands and lift your bum towards the sky, cowing or catting the back, getting a nice stretch through each vertebrae. And just breathe here. Release your hands from your feet. Go ahead and bring your knees wide. We're staying in on our knees here, but bring your knees wide and extend back into a wide child's pose. And completely let go here. Let the breath come naturally. We're actually ending today in this wild-legged child's pose. If you would rather end in corpse pose, feel free to come to your back. And I will bring you out of this Shavasana. So take this moment, this 1 minute, that's all I'm keeping you here for yourself. We rarely stop and just let ourselves be. There's so much to do from day to day. Just let all of that go. Focus on the breath. Inhaling through the nose, filling up to the very top, holding and exhaling through the mouth. Let's slowly come back to kneeling on our knees. Take your time, and if you prefer to stay in child's pose, please do so. We're going to close out our practice here. Go ahead and let your bum rest on your heels so you're just kneeling and relaxed, hands to heart center. As you go through your day, as you go through your week, as you go through your month, as you go through life, remember the policy of being too cautious. That is the greatest risk of all. Bringing your hands to third eye center. Go out and make it a beautiful day. Namaste.